Damn. That guy must have been really tanky. That guy had to have really good PDR to do that. GG. Yeah, he looks pretty kitted to me. This guy has I think this is a whole kit. Hey guys, how's it going? Firebox here. I want to bring you my Paladin Cleric build that I ran for 8 hours and never died a single time. Unless you want to count the disconnection that I had at the beginning of the match, but I'm not going to count that. I haven't died at all to any PvP or any legitimate gameplay. And during my last stream, which was about 4 hours, I made about 30,000 gold that I started sinking into additional gear sets. Still have some extra stuff to sell as well. And been investing in gold coin bags and golden keys because it was just too much gold to handle. That said, I want to go ahead and go over my kits, and I want to go over some additional information such as the matchups and some things to look out for, such as the build's weaknesses and the strengths that you have, and general game plans that I have when I'm doing those fights. For our weapon of choice, I'm going to choose the club. I think this is the best cleric weapon. It's a lot easier to hit people because of the horizontal swing than other melee weapons, and it has a better weak point. It's very easy with a mace to hit for the 70% damage because of where the weak points lie, whereas the club, it feels a little bit easier to hit that main point that's going to deal full damage. The 10% armor pen isn't quite as good as the maces, but I think the weapon attack pattern itself and the damage makes up for it. For your shield, you're going to be wanting to get additional armor rolls. They did just nerf this, but I still think it's quite good. You're just not going to be reaching quite as strong armor thresholds. For our headpiece, I'm going to be using the Great Helm with additional magic damage. This has a base knowledge roll, which is very strong. My goal with this build is to reach 40 total knowledge if possible, because 70% casting speed feels really nice. It's going to help you tremendously in your fights, especially against some of your counter matchups, such as Wizard and Warlock. For your chest piece, we're going to be looking for the Crusader armor because, again, it has the base knowledge stat, plus the 2 all attribute stat is really nice as well. Cleric really wants all attributes, and if you can get it, you generally want to, especially +2. And then we're going to grab the plate pants with +2 as well. And the secondary attributes, I would say look for armor, PDR, or magic power. Those are probably some of the top ones that you can find. For our gauntlets, we're going to be rocking PDR to try to just get a little bit better threshold, and the 3 additional knowledge is really nice as well. Honestly, these gloves were a godsend for this kit because it helped me reach that 40 threshold and added some additional tankiness, which was just really great. For our cloak, I think this also got nerfed. It used to be able to roll up to 5 will. Now they're just 2. So you are losing 3 additional will or 6 magic power. But the rolls are really what we're looking for. The 3 additional magic damage is the primary stat. And secondary, if you can find additional armor, that's probably ideal. You can also consider grabbing additional magic power as well. For our rings, I went with the cheapest additional magic damage that I could find because at the time I didn't have a lot of money to build this kit. I want to say when I did originally build this, it was about 2,000 gold. But ideally, you want to get better rings. I can actually show you some that I bought after. Ones that have additional armor rating rolls on top of them would be ideal. So if I were to put these on instead, like I was planning to when I keep running this kit, you can see our PDR increases by a decent amount, which is nice. And of course, we're going to be getting extra base stats as well. And our pendants, I am going to recommend looking for +2 all. It is kind of tough because this could be a +4 damage slot. So you kind of have to choose between +4 damage or +2 all. It's kind of up to you. I feel like +2 all is just probably better for cleric, but you could consider experimenting with the additional magic damage as well. And for our spellbook, I'm going to be looking for 3 additional magic healing. This is going to be really good for sanctuary and general heals and magic penetration. I decided to grab this stat specifically because of the barbarian build that I released a few days ago that had really high magic resistance. And I'm kind of glad that I did. It came in handy. It allows me to fight barbarians a lot easier that might have that magic damage reduction. I personally think armor pen and magic pen stats are really slept on right now. Once people realize how good it is, these tank builds might not be as good. But for now, I would really consider at least trying to grab a little bit of penetration against these other builds that are optimized to tank damage. And I am going to be using explosive bottles, kind of like Francisca's, just to deal a little bit of range damage. And because they scale with additional magic damage, it's quite good as well. For my perks, I'm going to be running Protection from Evil, because it's really good against Warlocks, and it's just generally good. Advanced Healer, because it's really good for Sanctuary. Perseverance, it's amazing, probably one of the best Cleric perks. It will reduce a lot of damage, and it kind of scales with armor. For example, if a rogue hits you with maybe Rupture, instead of 4 damage per tick, it's going to deal 1. So it really does scale, especially with those damage over time effects. And Faithfulness, because our entire point of this build is dealing Holy Strike and Judgment damage. And because our magic power is only 50, getting up to 65 just feels a little bit better. And Judgment, if you didn't know, will also scale with spellcasting speed, meaning that we're going to cast Judgment way faster than most people are ever going to expect us to, which is very strong, and makes it so people avoiding it is almost impossible. I very rarely ever miss this skill anymore, which is a really big deal. For our spells, I'm going to be running Lesser Heal and Sanctuary, just by far the best healing, and really the only healing for Cleric you have in solos. Holy Strike is going to be really good for Wizards, Warlocks, anybody that's not fighting you at melee, and it just does a lot of damage with this build. Earthquake is slept on in my opinion for solos. I've been making great use of this, and because of the additional stats that are added onto gear now, Bless has kind of fallen off. It doesn't scale as much as it used to. You don't need these stats for the late game, mid game anymore. I think having Earthquake as utility is much better. And Protection is just such a good Cleric spell. Would highly recommend always using it. Now I want to take a few minutes to go over the specific matchups and some of the pros and cons of this build. So as far as weaknesses go, your counter matchups are going to be Wizard and Warlock. The way you're going to have to deal with them almost every single time is going to be Holy Strike and Judgment. Wizard is never going to fight you in melee, and Warlock might fight you in melee, but you need to be prepared for them not to. Hopefully, your Holy Strike and Judgment will be high enough damage to kill them in just those 2 things. Sometimes it might take more. I would recommend staying out of big open rooms against these classes. Try to have doorways in your way. If you have a door in between you and you take too much damage, you can shut it and very quickly heal yourself. It's very, very useful. And having line of sight breakers against those classes is better. It benefits you more than it benefits them to have things in the way. If you have obstructions, you can always heal, and they cannot. I mean, they can heal, but it's nowhere near as fast. You also have explosive bottles that you can throw in doorways to make it so they really can't push you, which makes it even easier for you to get heals off. Fighters, specifically PDR fighters, are going to be like your easiest matchup unless they're really geared and maybe you don't get a Holy Strike off. They're not very resistant to magic, and just in general, everything you have is tailored towards being pretty good against them. You should win most of your fights against that. Slayer fighters should be pretty okay too, unless they have a lot of armor pen, but I haven't seen that very much yet. Barbs, unless they're running armor pen, are probably not too much of a threat. If they have PDR or magic damage resistance and it's really high, it could be a tough fight, but it seems like I'm generally favored against them personally. And if they don't have PDR and they don't have armor pen, then it should be a very easy fight. Rogues are not really too much of a threat unless they're running armor penetration. They did just get a buff, so that might become a harder matchup, but we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Bards can be a little bit tough because of their Shrieker weakness, reducing your PDR, and Lament, making you slower. I would recommend never fighting them in a big open room, kind of like the other classes. Most of them are not going to fight you in melee combat, so try to rely on your Holy Strikes and Judgment to deal damage enough to kill them, because if they're good and they're constantly kiting away from you, it is possible that they kill you, especially if they're stacking true damage. Rangers are kind of the same. If they don't have armor pen or a windlass, they're kind of a non-threat. But if you do find a geared ranger, could be tough. And against other clerics, it's going to depend on their build. I would just recommend just trying to get Holy Strikes and Judgments off on them before you engage. Really the same as any other class. And just try to outplay them. If they're race car type cleric, technically they might have an advantage over you because they're going to be faster moving. And if their plan is to kill you at nothing but magic damage, your PDR is not going to matter. Their speed is going to matter more. And if they're PDR, you'll just have to try to outplay them. I find using Holy Strike and then Judgment immediately after while they're blinded really catches them off guard. And then you can immediately start casting a second Holy Strike after that Judgment. And either they'll die with the Judgment or they'll die after the 2 Holy Strikes, either or. Which seems relatively consistent in fights. I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about in this video. Let's go ahead and get started with the PvP. I think I had some really fun games. Enjoy the video. Oh no, that was so close. Why are there so many naked players in here? That was a really good play. That was such a good play. I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad, dude. What a god. I don't want to run around and chase naked players. I'll just loot a little bit. We'll fight a little bit later in the circle. It's fine. Whoa, what the? What? 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 Where did this guy come from? Wait a minute. Starts. Oh no, it's already starting. That dude had 0% chance. What was he gonna do? Okay. you, sir. I don't think that guy expected this damage. That dude thought he was gonna kill me. He was so confident. Oh, crap, he's, oh my god, he's geared. Oh, man. We killed a geared wizard! Let's go! Look at that. So we actually killed a wizard. I can't believe it. Wizards is not a good matchup for me at all. That's crazy. I didn't expect it. Yeah, that's really crazy. Killing a wizard's huge. This class is not good against it, man. I'm gonna open this just in case. It's always good to have a... Wow, that looks like a streamer portal to me. No, dude, that dude flew me crazy. I don't even know what to say. DPS, I think my club does... Holy... Oh my god! Jesus! Thought he would have been dead. Time for a sit. Oh, he did no damage. Okay, I can just... Alright. I'm gonna be honest, he did so little damage with the survival bell, I got a little scared. He must have had armor pen. He had to have armor pen to do that kind of damage. Damn. Yeah, yes, you tricked me, man. You tricked me. I thought you were not geared at all. And then my man came in with the huge damage. That genuinely caught me off guard. I would have played that differently if I knew that he was actually going to deal damage. I mean, that fighter almost killed me. That fighter could have killed me there. I think I could have played that better. I got overconfident. That's the word. Well, that's usually how I die. It's the overconfidence that gets me. Note to self, don't do that. It's hard to take someone seriously when they're doing 1 damage to you with a bow. Oh, oh man. That was close. Oh god, this guy's like juiced. Oh man, I had that guy so low twice. I feel like my barb would have killed that guy. Because I had really high magic resist and stuff. Can the cleric build do that? Yeah, that's what I was thinking would. I think there's a lot of people who go to Twitch for streaming, not YouTube. That guy did not expect that, did he? That guy looked pretty kitted. Oh. Yes, he is scared. Anyway, it's kind of hard to push a wizard through the traps. Unlucky. I mean, if no one's gonna fight me, then I guess I'll just take the portal and they can fight amongst themselves. I don't really know what else to do. Well, I was literally almost out of gold at the start of this stream. Damn, he really had the whole play. You're not gonna fight me? What? Why? For your bagging for a teammate? Dude. Good deal. What? What the? I've never seen someone do this before. Sorry, buddy. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and most importantly, I hope you learned something. If you did, be sure to like the video. It really helps the channel. Sub for future content, and comment below what your thoughts are. I do want to thank Kid Brutal and Barty for supporting this video, alongside all my other members. Thank you all. Have a great day.